I've been living here in Tokyo for about 4 years, and in this video I want to talk about 7 of my favorite food here in Japan. And not all of these food are Japanese food. Ever since moving here, I've not only been able to eat good Japanese food, but also food from all different kinds of countries. So for my quick background, I'm a Japanese American born and raised in Hawaii and then went to Oregon for college. But back then I didn't get to eat like tons of variety of food, either because many food were expensive or because I didn't like to drive, so I didn't go to much places. But ever since I came to Japan, I realized that food here is not only affordable but also accessible because you can go to all of these places by train. This may sound strange, but if I wasn't living in Japan, I wouldn't have ate probably around half of these food on the list. So I'm pretty thankful for this country. Arigatou gozaimasu. I don't know if this is a good way to start the video, but the first food is kebab. It's a Middle Eastern dish made with seasoned meat that's usually served as a wrap, sandwich, or a rice bowl. So I first tried kebab in 2021 where I was working remotely, and I was actually at an internet cafe because I sometimes go to different places for a change of scenery, and I was looking up on Uber what kind of food they had. Then I saw a place where they were selling really cheap kebabs. I was wondering what the heck this is, and I just ordered it just because it was cheap and the reviews were pretty good. I ordered a kebab rice bowl and I ate it for the first time. I was like, holy crap, this is really good for a really affordable price. So this is definitely one of my go-to when I'm looking for a budget option in Tokyo. I went to different types of kebab stores and I realized that not all of them are this cheap. The one I usually go to is in Kabukicho, Shinjuku. They sell kebabs that cost between 350 yen to 700 yen. This really depends on what type of kebab you get and the size. It is so cheap, I sometimes get two, one for dinner and one for lunch the next day. I made a YouTube video of me going there, so if you want to check it out, I'll put it in the description. The second food I really like is galette. I'm so sorry if you're French and I'm pronouncing this really bad, but this is a savory French crepe made with buckwheat flour, usually filled with ham, cheese, and egg, and other things depending on what you order. How I met this food is very awkward, but my Japanese ex-girlfriend took me to this place. She knew more of like the fancy food places, so she took me here and I tried it for the first time. I was like, holy shit, this is good. Galette is definitely not a budget option. You'll probably have to pay at least 2,000 yen if you want to include galette and like salad or a side menu. So I don't really go here that often, probably around once every 2 to 3 months. But yeah, whenever I go there, I always get excited. And whenever I eat it, I'm like, oh crap, this is good. I know people are gonna think this is clickbait if I keep talking about non-Japanese food. So the next one will be a Japanese food, and that is gyutan. Gyutan is grilled beef tongue. It's one of the famous food in Sendai. And that is where I tried the gyutan for the first time. I've had beef tongue, the super thin ones you see in like a regular yakiniku store, but I haven't had like the super thick ones that's like super chewy. And when I tried it for the first time in Sendai, it was so god, I don't know how to explain it. I'm filming this at 11:55 p.m. and this might be a bad mistake because it's really getting me hungry. But the problem with gyutan is that it's not necessarily cheap. When I went to Sendai, I got a 2,000 yen coupon I could use for food, and the total with the 2,000 yen coupon was 1,500 yen. So the original cost would have been 3,500 yen. So I will only eat this very occasionally, about once every 6 months maybe. Once I get more rich, I'll definitely want to go there more often. Okay, and the next one is also Japanese food, and it is karaage, so which is Japanese style fried chicken. So I have this very big emotional connection with karaage. When I was in Hawaii, my mom would make this about once every month or two, and I would always be so excited whenever she makes it. I was more excited about this than McDonald's, and that's saying a lot. But then when I moved to Japan, I realized that this food is like everywhere. Supermarket, actual like karaage specialty store, and it was like, oh my god, this is like heaven. But I have to make sure I don't eat this too much or else I'm going to look like a monster, and I don't want to look like a monster. So number 5 is either tuna or salmon rice bowl. This is pretty self-explanatory. It's a rice bowl with tuna or salmon. I don't remember when I tried my first one, but I usually get this whenever I go to a store that's known for it. I don't really eat it much in Tokyo. I don't know. It's a hit or miss. If you go to a really good place, that's fine. But if you accidentally go to like a really bad one, you're going to like hate fish for about a week or two. So my grandma saw this ad of a store that was selling fish rice bowl for an affordable price for delivery. and she was gonna try it, so she asked me if I wanted to try it as well. I was like, sure, can you give me the tuna rice bowl? And I had it. It was uh it wasn't good. And when it's really not good, it's hard to finish. And I just ended up being hungry and going to kombini and eating some famichiki. That actually got me scared of eating seafood rice bowl for a while. So you have to be really careful, and you have to make sure you go to a really good place. Look at the reviews. Don't go to Google. Go to Tabirogu. There's honest Japanese people who never gives a 4-star over there. If you see anything that's above 3.3 or 3.5, it's good. So number 6, I'm gonna be going back to non-Japanese food. I'm very sorry, but it is Indian curry. Indian style curry is everywhere in Tokyo, which I am really happy about. So before I go on, I've heard that these Indian style curry in Japan is not that authentic because it's adjusted to Japanese people's taste. But we'll just call it Indian style curry just for the video. This is my favorite place to go to when I don't have that much money but I want to eat a lot. It's because they usually have like free non-refills. And the last one is Genovese pasta. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, Italians. I'm very sorry. So a simple explanation of this food is Italian pasta with basil pesto sauce. So I first ate this when my friend took me to an extremely low-key but authentic looking one in Chiba. The owner of this store was Italian and it was really good. Part of me wishes that they had this at Saizeriya. Probably better that it's not a Saizeriya. So that is my 7 favorite food here in Japan. Hope this was like, I don't know, insightful, or just, I don't know, you thought that was entertaining, considering that most of the food is non-Japanese food. I do want to hear other people's favorite food in Japan, so if you don't mind, please let me know in the comment section below. But if you want to see more laid back content about Japan like this, make sure to subscribe. Alright, see you guys later, bye bye.